Russia, a country with a rich and diverse history, has a story that spans centuries. From its early beginnings as a collection of city-states to its rise as a global superpower, Russia has undergone numerous transformations and faced countless challenges along the way. Today, we dive into the fascinating history of Russia. The story of Russia begins with the rise of the East Slavic tribes in the 9th century. These tribes inhabited the territory around modern-day Moscow and Kiev and were organized in small principalities ruled by local nobles. One of the most prominent of these principalities was Kiev, led by Prince Vladimir the Great. Under his rule, the region saw the conversion to Christianity in 988, an event that profoundly shaped the future of Russia. After the Mongols conquered Kiev in the 13th century, they established the Golden Horde, a Mongol state that ruled over vast territories, including present-day Russia. The Mongol occupation lasted for centuries and left a lasting impact on the Russian people. However, it also laid the groundwork for the emergence of Moscow as a new power. In the late 15th century, Moscow emerged as the center of power under the leadership of Ivan III, also known as Ivan the Great. He successfully freed Moscow from Mongol control and consolidated the territories of other Russian principalities under his rule. Ivan the Great was also responsible for strengthening the autocratic rule in Russia, setting the stage for future rulers. Ivan IV, also known as Ivan the Terrible, succeeded his father as the Grand Prince of Moscow in 1547. He is known for his cruel and tyrannical rule, which included the establishment of a centralized bureaucracy and the persecution of his political opponents. Despite his dark legacy, Ivan the Terrible also expanded Russia's territory, adding vast lands in Siberia and establishing a strong military. The 17th century marked a period of political and social upheaval in Russia. During this time, Russia experienced the Time of Troubles, a period of chaos marked by widespread famine, epidemics, and political instability. The Romanov dynasty, led by Tsar Michael I, emerged as the new ruling family in 1613 and brought stability to Russia. Under their rule, the Russian Empire started to take shape. Peter the Great, who ascended to the throne in 1682, is often regarded as one of Russia's most influential rulers. He introduced sweeping reforms aimed at modernizing the country and bringing it into the European fold. Peter the Great built a new capital, St. Petersburg, a symbol of his ambition to create a European-style city in Russia. He also reformed the military, established a modern navy, and promoted education and cultural exchange with Western Europe. Following Peter the Great, Russia saw a series of expansions under Catherine the Great. Her rule from 1762 to 1796 saw the annexation of Crimea, the conquest of vast territories in Eastern Europe, and the transformation of Russia into a major European power. Catherine the Great was known for her patronage of the arts, her support for education, and her efforts to bring Enlightenment ideals to Russia. The 19th century brought significant changes to Russia. The country experienced rapid industrialization and urbanization while remaining an autocratic state. The reign of Tsar Nicholas II marked the end of the Romanov dynasty and the beginning of a turbulent period. The discontent among the working class, coupled with Russia's involvement in World War I, led to the Russian Revolution in 1917. The Russian Revolution saw the overthrow of the monarchy and the establishment of a socialist government led by Vladimir Lenin and the Bolshevik Party. The revolution resulted in a profound transformation of Russian society, including the nationalization of industry, the redistribution of land, and the creation of the Soviet Union in 1922. Under the leadership of Joseph Stalin, the Soviet Union became a global superpower and emerged as one of the two main protagonists of the Cold War. Stalin's rule was marked by a series of economic and political policies that aimed to rapidly industrialize and modernize the country. However, it also led to widespread purges, forced collectivization, and a cult of personality. The Soviet Union faced numerous challenges during its existence, including World War II, which saw the country endure heavy casualties but ultimately emerged victorious against Nazi Germany. The Soviet Union continued to expand its influence throughout Eastern Europe, establishing satellite states and forming the Warsaw Pact. However, the Soviet Union faced internal pressures and economic stagnation in the latter half of the 20th century. With the leadership of Mikhail Gorbachev in the 1980s, the Soviet Union underwent political and economic reforms known as perestroika and glasnost. These reforms aimed to revitalize the country but eventually led to the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Following the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Russia embarked on a path of economic and political transformation. The 1990s were marked by significant challenges, including economic turmoil, political instability, and a loss of international prestige. However, under the leadership of Vladimir